Hi, I'm Jack Baruzzini, and you're listening to The Secret to Stargate, where we talk about the hidden meanings and deeper layers found in the Stargate movies, TV series, and more. And joining me today are Father Cory Sticha. Hi, Father.
Howdy, Jack.
And Lisa Jones. Hi, Lisa.
Hey, Jack.
And Victor Lambs. Hey, Victor.
Hi, Jack.
Today we are discussing the 15th episode of Season 7, Chimera, or if you want to say it in a fun way, Chimera. That's how my son pronounced it when he saw the title, so I think I'm going to go with that. Daniel is having recurring dreams about his ex, Sarah, who is now taken over by Osiris. He discovers that Osiris is attempting to uncover the location of the lost city of the ancients through his dreams. Meanwhile, Sam has a new beau, a cop named Pete. We'll talk about Pete later. With Teal'c's help, Daniel uncovers Osiris's plan, and the team stages a stakeout and is able to successfully capture Osiris. They're able to remove the symbiote from her, and Sarah is now free. We also learn that Pete is actually an FBI agent, which I was a little bit surprised by. So yeah. What are your thoughts on this episode, Father?
It's not too bad. The whole Osiris manipulating Daniel's dreams and figuring out the tablet, which, spoiler, will lead to the lost city of Atlantis. All that whole plot line, and Daniel trying, of course, Daniel getting a chance to fantasize about his ex-girlfriend, and his resolution of that as well is good. Pete, I could have done without, but that's the whole just Pete being in the entire series. I could have done without. So
yeah, I'm less than thrilled that he is not just in this episode, apparently. So
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope.
What are your thoughts, Lisa?
Okay. I'll start out with, I liked it better now than I did when it aired in 2004. I don't know if that's my more mature self or the fact that I'm not as obsessed with the Sam Jack ship anymore. So I could see what they were doing with Sam's character and letting her have a little fun and have a boyfriend that doesn't die, and how that was important to her character growth, and letting her wear fun clothes and all that stuff. I can see it. I can see where she would fall for Mr. Nice Guy, after in this constrained military world where everyone's, so I can see it, oh, he's so sweet, oh, he's kind of cute, oh, But I just, I still don't like Pete. I can't. I can't. He comes across as sleazy car salesman guy who's trying to pull one over on her. I don't know. And she's too smart for that. But I can see where, she just wants to let all that go and have fun. So, the Daniel stuff. Yeah. Daniel got to, wear a tank top and fantasize about his ex-girlfriend. And, I like the resolution to the Osiris Sarah plot. So I liked that a lot. And Teal'c had some really funny lines. So, but
Teal'c was the best part.
The Sam Pete thing really just kind of takes over all thoughts of this episode.
Yeah. What about you, Victor? Do you have a different opinion of Pete?
This episode's fine. It's, to save money, which, to the extent that they saved money when Carter pulls up in the Volvo, that's Amanda Tapping's own car. Mm-hmm. And when she comes dressed for her date in that dress, that was her own dress that she bought for the Leo Awards, I think. Mm-hmm. And so any cars you see in the background are the cast and crew cars, that they just left in the scene.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, the coffee shop is literally across the street from the studio, and they just went in there and filmed. But no, it's a fine episode. I like the resolution of the Osiris plot, reportedly, so they didn't have to keep flying Anna Louise Plowman in from the UK, because that was getting expensive. Pete's fine. I'm a sucker for a DeLuise. And I like the way that they set that up too, where she's just in the coffee shop and then he comes in and then all of a sudden they're kissing. You're like, whoa, what's going on here? And it's like, oh, they've been dating and we didn't know. So I like the way they do that reveal. I thought that was pretty clever.
Mm-hmm.
I feel for me, I feel like that just gets Pete off on the wrong foot automatically, though, because it's so
skeevy,
cringy, and creepy, and I guess it's supposed to come across as cute like banter, but it came across like they were doing some sort of weird role play where he's picking her up and doesn't
they
know
kind
her.
of were.
And it was just, I don't know. Sam is, and he's pretty witty, I guess. I'll give him that. But Sam deserves better.
Yeah.
It's like she had better banter chemistry with, shoot, I should have looked up the episode name.
Orlin.
No.
No.
The one where it was the convict ship that crashed that
Corso, Aiden Corso.
Corso. I think she had better banter, witty humor, chemistry with him than Pete. Pete, it was almost like a simplified version of herself, like if you stopped half her brain from operating and she was just like this cute, like nice girl rather than the like brilliant, scientist / I'll kick everyone's butts, military person. Yeah.
I think they addressed some of that in that scene. I had to fast forward because the kids were in the room. It wasn't that bad, but where they talk about like, are you accepting, who are you really? And are you accepting me for who I really am? That sort of thing.
Yeah. So the whole thing with Pete is that he's introduced as a cop, and just by his demeanor and his interests and the way he talks, you kind of assume he's like a beat cop or something like that. But it's revealed later on that he actually works for the FBI. So
is it, or does he just have a friend in the FBI?
See, I thought that was just a contact of the FBI.
Yeah.
Okay, I must have misunderstood that because when he called, he says this is special agent.
Oh, I didn't think he did.
Or just I'm on a special case or something. It does. Yeah.
Well, he said he was on a special case, but he wasn't FBI.
It's not important, but I think he's just like Denver police or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
He might be an investigator or something like that, but
yeah. And they do an okay job of kind of bringing him back in that scene after they go on their wonderful romantic date to the old folks home. Apparently.
The social hall of the Greek Cultural Center. Yeah.
It was a 50th wedding anniversary.
Yeah.
For, I guess, nobody they knew. They crashed.
They crashed the wedding
anniversary party, which, was kind of cute, kind of stupid, but
yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Like the I guess 30-year-old me who watched it back then was like, this is really stupid. But the middle-aged me is kind of like, no, it's kind of cute.
Yeah.
I don't know if they were trying to do like the wedding singer thing where like, Adam Sandler and Drew Barrymore, like they reconnect at like the 50th anniversary. But at least there, Adam Sandler's character has been working with the couple to, well,
he's there to actually do a job.
Yeah. No, I think it was just like you wanted to dance because they were arguing about singing in the rain. And he's like, we're here to dance.
But it wasn't really connected to singing in the rain in any way. It was just kind of like standard like swing music. There wasn't really any
played on like a MIDI keyboard, it was very bad MIDI synthesizer horn section and stuff. Like there's no excuse in 2003 for it to sound that cheesy. But you notice that the picture that's in the background when they first walk in, there's like a guy in a top hat. That's Robert Cooper in the picture wearing the top hat.
Nice.
There, yeah.
That's a good catch.
And the extras in that scene were like people's parents.
Yeah.
Like people who work
really
on the show.
dug for the cheapest they could get.
Yeah.
I mean, call up your parents and have them come do a dance scene.
So did like all the budget in this episode, I guess, went to flying Anna Louise Plowman in?
Probably.
And blowing up the truck at the end.
Yes, blowing things up. Yes.
Yeah. Because, by the way, speaking of her flying in, of course, this would have been about the time that she would have been getting ready to film the Doctor Who episode Dalek from the first season.
Oh, yeah.
Because this came out in 2004, and then that episode came out in 2005. So that would explain why she wouldn't want to be on anything else if she's got something like that. Even though it was just a one-off episode that she was in, but
they mentioned too on the commentary she was doing like Shanghai Nights around this time with Owen Wilson and Jackie Chan as well. I don't remember her being in it, but I've only seen that movie once, and it was a long time ago.
Nice. Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying not to just go off on a Pete bashing.
Everyone else does.
I guess David DeLuise did a good job at making me not like Pete, and I don't know if that was his intent, but at least that means his acting was good. So
Yeah.
Well, they said
There
they
we
had
go.
amazing chemistry
Yeah,
Mm.
they did.
in the commentary. They talked about that the two actors just had great chemistry. And I read something else that they hung out a lot while they were filming just to try to, kind of get to know each other. And
Nice.
yeah,
They
you know
could've
what
just
everyone
played Pete
called
differently.
Pete in the, like when this came out, what he was called online. He was called Stalker Pete.
Oh, sure. Yeah, because
Like
he
that's
did.
what he was referred
Yeah.
to by all the fans was Stalker Pete.
Because he literally did. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
we haven't
called the
even mentioned that
FBI.
yet.
Yeah,
That's why I thought he was an FBI agent, because he's got a hookup at the FBI. Apparently, he calls and runs a background check on her, and then stakes out and
like
he's
follows
watching
her to
and then-
Cheyenne Mountain, and then follows
Yeah.
her away from Cheyenne
Yeah.
Mountain, or
Exactly.
Yeah.
and
like he's parked outside of the gate, just sitting there waiting for her car to come back out.
Just at the end of the road there,
Yeah,
And would she not have been in the surveillance van when she left Cheyenne Mountain, or she's just like in her little Volvo, like meeting the surveillance van?
it's like, oh, I got that thing at 7:30. I better not watch Jeopardy tonight. I gotta.
and you would think he would know, like, Cheyenne Mountain is a secured military facility. If she works at Cheyenne Mountain and she says she can't talk about what she does, that's not
Yeah.
because she doesn't like me. It's because it's a national
Well, and
secret
that's-
and it's classified.
And that for, having served in the military, that what threw me out of the whole story. It's like any military member who's in that situation said, okay, I was deployed to this part of the world and I really can't talk about what happened there because I signed a document that said 75 years or to the day I die, whichever comes first, I can't talk about it,
Yeah. And it like, how long have they been dating? Because you get the feeling the episode Grace wasn't that long ago.
Right.
So they haven't been dating that long. And he gets it's very disrespectful and ugly to be like, why can't you tell me? How can
don't
you not
love
trust
me."
me? I know you're not supposed to, and it violates a lot of things for you and your job and national security and whatever, but I'm more important than all of that.
Mhm.
What?
And
No.
his next move is to go and stalk her. So,
Yeah,
And end up finding it all out anyways as he's in a hospital or in a holding cell with a
Yes.
hospital bed.
yeah. He gets
Huh. Oops.
Well, yeah, and I do like how they kind of like fake kill him because Sam does say at the beginning, like, I need to tell you, most of my past boyfriends have died.
Mhm.
He's like, what do you mean died? And she's like, as in dead.
Yeah.
And so they,
Yeah.
they fake kill him at the end. He's like, did we get him? And then he's like, because they do take down Osiris, and we'll talk about that plot too, because so far we've just
Eventually.
focused on the,
Yeah.
we've just focused on the non-alien plot because it's probably more. Okay, so this episode they do set up, that Atlantis potentially is not in our galaxy by the number of symbols on the tablet and stuff, but most of the interesting stuff is with Pete, I think.
And that's, I think, another issue with this episode is the balancing. Like, I like that it's doing something different, and it's more about the personal lives of the characters.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Like the stuff with Sam is focused almost exclusively on that, which is a good change of pace. But I feel like Daniel like dealing with his, I guess, like, it's emotional trauma from everything that's happened with Sarah, and also finding out that he's being manipulated by Osiris with the like Gould technology that taps into his brain. That seems like it should have been more of the focus of the episode, and it almost feels like it's just glossed over. It's like we get scenes of him and Sarah having coffee, and you get
Yeah.
that, like,
Yeah.
she's manipulating his dreams, and then it kind of gets tied up fairly quickly.
Yeah. Well, I liked Osiris's plot. Let's, have some ship hidden somewhere, beam in when he goes to sleep,
Mhm.
tap his brain, get as much information out as he can. When he starts to wake up, you beam out again and come back the next night. I mean,
Right.
Yeah.
great plot.
And-
Yeah.
But yeah. And I mean, of course, Sam happens to have this miracle wonder jammer that prevents her from being out, but that they've been working on, which
There
I don't
were-
think we ever see again.
No, there were a lot of coincidences here. Yeah, so the whole point is that she can't just kidnap Daniel and use a mind probe because she's after the knowledge that Daniel had when he was ascended. And so that's still in his subconscious someplace, like when he helped Ryak and Teal'c
Mhm.
or Braytek. But so she has to enter his dreams, which is another another meaning of the word chimera is like a fleeting dream or something that you can't grasp onto. So it's also a monster made up of many different parts, like
This episode.
like this episode. Yeah, it's a very good name for this episode. Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, a monster made up of many mismatched parts. But so she has to enter his dreams, and there's a lot of coincidences with the Teal'c. Like Daniel's been telling Teal'c and Sam about this for like 3 or 4 days. He's like, yeah, I keep having these weird dreams, and man, I wake up so tired, and like this woman who turned into a Gould is in all of them. And then finally, like day 4, Teal'c is like, oh yeah, the Gould do have something that let them enter your dreams. Yeah, I just remembered it. And it's like, thanks, Teal'c.
Yeah, because at first it was more like psychoanalyzing the guilt for losing Sarah, and it's like, no, that wasn't it.
I love the line, and one of y'all have to remember it exactly, but where, Teal'c, he says like something like, I can't get any sleep or whatever. And Teal'c's like, having met you, I can't imagine how you've ever slept well or for all you've been through or something. And that just cracks me up. He delivered that with such a straight face. And
it was a very good line.
All the trauma, really, all the again, we've talked about this, like no therapy, no analyzing. They just move on to the next thing.
Yeah.
I love that Teal'c just like, yeah, that's crazy.
I wonder any of us sleep at night.
Yeah.
The things we've done, we've blown up suns, planets, unleashed
I feel like
plagues of replicators upon the world.
You blow up one sun.
Exactly.
could have used a bit more of a Michael Shanks in his sleeping on top of his bed without any covers on, in his tank top with his arms like very prominently placed. Like,
is that my glass of water over there?
Well, and then the camera zooms in and he's in his tank top, with the exercise
biceps
thingies. I don't know.
Oh yeah,
barbells. Yeah,
barbells. Yeah.
Doing
And did
curls,
anyone add up? I'm watching with my husband, and he's like adding up how much Teal'c has on his bar, and it was over 400 pounds.
Was it that? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, well, it was like 3 something, and then the bar itself weighs 45 pounds. I got a whole earful about how you add up weights on a thing.
That's funny.
The bar was real, but the weights were rubber. So he was actually lifting probably closer, like still 60 pounds, like for as many takes as they needed to do. So
which for him would be like any of us pick up a pencil.
Yeah.
I was trying to see what the weight stamp was on Daniel's. Looked like it said like 30.
And they said those were Michael Shanks' actual dumbbells out of his trailer. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
He's really wanting to show off his physique.
Yeah, they were just using anything they could find. Like they had to do some reshoots of like the scene when Pete's standing on the front door talking to Sam in the dress, and they had to do some reshoots, but they couldn't get Amanda Tapping, so they actually got Peter DeLuise's wife to be like stand-in for
Oh, that's funny.
That Pete was reacting to and stuff, and it's really you kind of just see like it is very much a community production. Where they're just not like community theater, but it's like the Stargate community taps in and
which is I mean, it's so weird that this episode they would try to cut corners on, because it is a major plot episode with the whole translating the tablet part. I mean, because this is moving again towards Stargate Atlantis. Mm-hmm. So why would they cheap out on this one? There could have been other ones they could have.
But you think about it, they didn't have to build really any sets. I mean, you've got an office for Daniel. You've got 2 different bedrooms, a park, a coffee shop. I mean, but so it really, shooting wise, it sounds like, and you look at the cast list, it's very short for an episode of Stargate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think Hammond's in 1 scene and Jack is in 2 scenes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And then there's no, other SG teams. There's nobody else you see on the base. It's pretty sparse.
Yeah, you don't even hear like an embarkation alarm or anything like that. It's just nothing.
Yeah. Yeah, no gate at all.
Yeah,
no gate.
They actually mentioned that on the commentary. William Waring was like as Sam and Pete were talking, he's like, and we'd like to remind everyone that there is a Stargate out there that other people are using. and go and going on
Nice.
adventures through while we're watching this.
Yeah.
So I would assume at this point that Atlantis was probably planned in
Oh, yeah.
production. So
Mhm.
they would have known that this was a episode that's leading towards that. Did they talk about, because I haven't had a chance to watch the commentary, but do they talk about why this one was so pulled together with odds and ends? Like, was it just a budgeting thing, I guess?
I mean, Robert C. Cooper had the story because he's the one who's been driving, the Ancients and Asgard, and is the showrunner and
Mhm.
basically final
Mhm.
say on stories. It gave it to Damian Kindler to write. I mean, we do have some expensive episodes coming up.
True.
So if it's between this and a clip show, I'll definitely choose a
Yeah.
combo
clip show?
together.
And I mean-
no, I'll choose this.
No, but they did say they were filming. They've been, filming multiple episodes at one time, and so this was just another. They were. I forgot what they said they were filming at the same time as this one, but they had several other things going on.
I have, since you mentioned that, Victor, that they were filming like 2 or 3 episodes at a time. I have been, when I'm watching, taking note of like what characters are in which scenes, and
Yeah,
kind of, because it's, when you're watching a show, you think of it linearly, but that's not how they're produced. So it's interesting to kind of figure out, okay, like, I wonder when this block of scenes was done and what other episodes they did it with and all that.
Yeah, because like the scenes they filmed at, in front of Sam's house or whatever at the same time, O'Neill and Teal could be doing a scene in front of the Stargate, for example.
yeah.
Because they're 2 different locations. They got 2 different teams that can film and everything. Makes it quicker to get the episodes out, but also makes it more expensive because you got 2 different teams.
Yeah, and you'll have your second unit filming scenes. Like the director of this episode said, "Oh, I hadn't seen that scene yet because it was filmed by the second unit, or like the director of photography's off filming this, and then the editors bring it together and stuff." So, yeah, it's I can't remember the last time. I mean, it may have been in the last episode where all 4 of the SG-1 members were like together in a scene.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and
It may
did
have been
something.
It may have been a couple episodes. Yeah. We do get Jack and Sam together in the elevator.
Oh, that's
Very
right.
awkwardly.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
And she hums the Stargate theme.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, they wanted her to hum, but they didn't tell her what to hum.
Oh, so,
And so
she just starts humming it.
Well, I did read that she was at one point. She said, "Oh, it'd be funny to hum MacGyver theme song," but she didn't know it, and it said she tried for a little while to listen and tried to get it, and she couldn't get it fast enough, so she just went back to do the Stargate theme song. So that would have been funny. It was funny anyway.
yeah.
Yeah.
I like
I like Jack's reaction though. It's like, you're humming.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Am I?
It brought to mind, there's an episode, it was made probably 5 years before this, of Hercules, The Legendary Journeys, where they have the actors who play the characters on the show. They're actually playing the creators and writers of the show. And the thing is, they have to come up with an idea like by 5 o'clock for a really killer episode, or they're all going to get fired. And that's the premise of this episode called Yes, Virginia, There Is a Hercules. And at one point, the writers all go into the men's room together and are using the urinals, and one starts whistling the theme song for Hercules, The Legendary Journeys. And then one by one, they all join in until it's this big like orchestral production of yeah.
So that was the Hercules Wormhole Extreme episode, huh?
Yeah, they did a couple of them. The cool thing about it is Kevin Sorbo plays Kevin Sorbo and Hercules. So even though they're in this, meta real world, Hercules still exists in that world. And so, yeah, just in the 20th century. So they've done a couple of them, and they poke fun at themselves. It's pretty funny.
Nice. And with that setup where she's humming the music, I was almost wondering if there's going to be some sort of like meta level to this episode, and there really wasn't. So
No, I was just like,
That's
get in
about
the
as meta as
elevator.
it got.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you need to be humming something.
and they have the rights to that, so they don't have to.
Yep.
They did say on the commentary it was cheap. They didn't have to pay anybody for for it. So
Nice.
otherwise, you get like Farmer in the Dell or This Old Man or some public
yeah.
domain like
Row, row, row
Camp
your
Time. Yeah. Yeah,
Exactly.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was interesting that she and Jack having that conversation in the elevator, and then later kind of bookending the awkwardness of dating someone and then seeing her be upset about how it ends, or allegedly ends, halfway through the episode, and saying, just recognize how hard it can be when you can't tell someone and all that. So it was interesting that they chose Jack for her to have that conversation with. Because if you think about it, she didn't mention, here she is with Daniel and Teal'c all the time, analyzing Daniel's dreams and all that. And you never see her spilling, like, so I'm dating this guy. She never does that with them, but she does it with Jack. So I thought that was really interesting. And then when Pete gets shot, Jack is like, I've heard he yelled Carter or whatever. And she's like, it's Pete.
Yeah. Pete.
You almost want Jack to be like, what? Why the bleep is he here?
Yeah.
What? We don't bring boyfriends on stakeouts, Carter.
Yeah.
And I think
It's like a Starbucks barista who brings their significant other for their entire shift or something.
Right.
Pete is the Yoko Ono of the SG team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that both times when she talks to Jack about him, he brings it up kind of like he's prying into it. And I guess there's always been that tension between them, and maybe he's a little bit jealous. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. It definitely gets really awkward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Moving forward.
Yeah. Not just in the elevator.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah. He's in 3 more episodes?
That many.
Yeah.
Joy. I did notice at one point when I think this is at the beginning when they do their weird whatever that was.
In the coffee shop.
They're talking about dates to go on, and he says something about going to the zoo, and she says Colorado Springs has no zoo, which I immediately knew was absolutely not true, because one of the few things I remember about going to Colorado Springs as a kid is they had an awesome zoo.
Nice. Yeah, I was gonna say I thought they did. Yeah.
Yeah.
I read that they wrote that as a way to show that Carter doesn't have a life, that she doesn't even know, she's been there forever and doesn't even know they have a zoo. But if you've never been to I've been to Colorado Springs. We didn't go to the zoo. I had no idea it had a zoo. So that went over my head. So they said that joke was too subtle.
Little too subtle. They're probably just saying that to cover the fact that they didn't realize Colorado Springs had a zoo.
Yeah.
Maybe so. But I think the zoo is at Cheyenne Mountain.
It's really close to that area. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what the thing online said, that it's called this Cheyenne Mountain Zoo or something.
I think it might be. Yeah.
We need more episodes that take place there.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Zaytark's heading to the zoo. All right, let's go to the zoo.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of Zaytark,
Oh, look,
you had that's what she was using.
It would have been fun to have them chase her through the zoo, running around the giraffes and the elephants and
the polar bear exhibit.
just
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Chimpanzee gets zatted.
Yeah. She runs into the reptile house and sees the snakes and is just nah, just because she's a fool or something.
Amateur
cousin.
Yeah.
It was nice that they brought the two storylines together rather than
Yeah.
some of the other ones we've seen where they
Yeah.
operate completely independent of each other. So
Or Star Trek where they have nothing to do with each other. Yeah.
Yeah.
I do like how Star Trek will do it, where it's plot A is very dramatic, the Klingon houses are going to kill each other and this is going to cause an interstellar war, and then plot B is Data learns how to paint and hijinks ensue.
Yeah.
And I guess you get a little bit of that with this, because for the most part, Pete and Sam's plot line is them dating and various.
You could have cut it out of the
awkwardness.
episode, and it would have been a complete episode, just short. But
They could have added in a lot more shots of Michael Shanks lifting weights just to pad out the time.
yeah,
Yeah. And being sleepy.
Yeah.
him being like comically sleepy. Like, okay, we get it. You're tired. Like
Yeah,
there is a good exchange. Like when Sam and Jack first go into the elevator and Jack says Carter and Sam says Colonel and Michael and Daniel goes coffee. So you get like Carter Colonel coffee. And it's a nice exchange, but he says it so like, you know, like don't talk to me until I've had my coffee.
Yeah.
He did look legitimately tired in some of those scenes, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stayed up too
Maybe
late pumping weights. No.
yeah.
If you think about it, so you've gotten Daniel Jackson gets to relax, Michael Shanks gets to relax his character a little bit and buff up and all that. On the flip side, you have Carter. Not only is she now out of her uniforms, but this is the most, I'll say, skin we've ever seen on Carter. And I did hear other things that a lot of these clothes are her own. Like this is how she dresses. And so but it is funny that that's how they open the episode, because you're like, okay, that's not usually how we see Sam Carter. What is she doing? And I'm
I
like,
thought she was wearing a bathing suit.
Yeah.
And you're like, you're going to work like that?
They have a locker room. You change into your work clothes when you get there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I guess she probably can't wear her uniform out there because it's got the badge on it.
Yeah.
No, that's true. I mean,
That's true.
they're on Velcro, so she could remove that, but they're also not typical Air Force uniforms. So,
Yeah.
but
what makes the episode for me is earlier on when they're planning out the stakeout to capture Osiris, Jack mentions that Teal'c is going to get donuts, and I assume that was just Jack being like smart butt Jack how he is. And then when they're in the van watching the screens, Teal'c leans over with the box of donuts.
yeah, he really loves steakouts. He's going to pick out his donuts.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, literally, he went and picked out the donuts he wanted, and Teal'c was almost hurt that none of them joined in on the donuts.
Yeah.
I felt
why
bad.
Why would Jack turn down a donut? Usually he would have gone like, donuts or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was
I know.
That
I
was
felt
out of
bad
character.
for
That
Teal'c.
was
Okay,
that was the biggest
the only
writing
thing would
error.
be funny is the only thing would be funny is if they actually rated like the table.
Yeah, the craft services.
Yeah,
They might have done. I mean,
like he just grabbed a box of donuts from the table, said, "We'll need these," and walked
when
off.
when he said Teal'c is going to get donuts, he literally meant Christopher Judge has gone down to a donut shop to pick out donuts.
yeah. Well, and the inside of the van was just like a little room that they built in the SGC gate room and stuff. So on the gate room set, they had just built this little cube for them to sit in as the inside of the van.
Speaking of the van, did you notice that I think they had a failed attempt to blow it up?
Oh, really? Or did
Because
they just...
when you looked at under the gas tank, the gas filler, there was burn marks.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
So I wonder if they tried to do it once and like the igniter got cut or whatever, the det cord got cut or whatever they used to start it.
Yeah.
And so they had to do it again. But there was a clear burn mark in the paint.
I thought that was just from where she was hitting it and hadn't like blown it up yet with maybe, I don't know.
No, she only hit it once, I think.
Okay.
But
I did not catch that. But
Yeah. I saw that and I thought, why does a surveillance van have burn marks on it?
yeah.
Oh.
Because it didn't look like dirt where, if you overfilled and it gas poured out
Mhm.
and then you got dirt. No, that was burn mark. It's like, okay, that didn't work the first time.
take two.
Oops.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's kind of like the Dateline NBC thing against GM trucks, if you remember that way back when, they took, they got one to finally blow up. It took them like 10 tries, but still they got one to blow up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Was it the Pinto that would explode when you
Yes.
hit it in the back?
Yeah.
Yes, we had a Pinto.
Obviously, you survived.
Yeah.
We survived. Yeah. I think ours stopped working before it exploded. Yeah.
Nice. Do we have any alternate language titles for this episode, Victor?
Well, since it was in Greek, most of the Chimera is in Greek. Most of the other languages were all just some version of Chimera, except for German, of course. And there we get Daniel's Trauma, which means Daniel's dreams. So
Nice.
we focus on Daniel's dreams. And apparently, Damian Kindler is known for coming up with like titles that are very obscure mythological references and stuff. So
Apparently.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I did see that apparently the alternative title for this episode was going to be Black Widow Carter because all her boyfriends die. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Broke the curse. See, so now it's okay that she dates Jack because now he won't die if they date.
Yeah.
See?
So they do have a sarcophagus, so he could die and they could bring him back, and that would kind of zero it out.
Maybe that's how they brought Pete back, and they just didn't tell him.
How many times has Daniel taken that Gould hand device to the head now? Have we counted?
Oh, it's been a lot.
Dude's got to have some scrambled eggs in there.
Yeah.
Well, at least he ascended, so that resets that.
Okay.
Yeah, that's true. It resets your hand device counter.
Because when Jill goes to check on him, he's like, I'm fine. And I'm thinking, yeah, because this has happened like 15 times. You know how to get over it. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's also one of the least effective ways to kill somebody ever.
Yes.
It works. It just takes a long time.
She was just using it on a lower setting to make him kind of sleepy.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah. Wasn't trying to kill him.
It's like a blow dryer set on low.
Yeah.
Just make you sweaty.
Yeah.
Awesome. Did y'all have any other thoughts on this episode?
No thoughts at all.
Well, we didn't mention how Carter could stay with Pete, but I'll give her a little bit of grace because she doesn't know yet that he was stalking her. And she was so caught up in the moment that he was almost killed that she didn't think, why are you here? So we'll put a pin in that one till the next time.
Because there was one house that all the scenes were filmed in, and he thought he was showing up for the date scene or something.
It wasn't even written into the episode. They just included it.
I'm on the call sheet. Oh, not until tomorrow. Okay.
Nice. Awesome. Well, on that note, we'd like to take a moment to thank our patrons who make it possible for us to create The Secret to Stargate, including Alex C., Eric A., Jeremy C., Elizabeth E., and Shelley H. Their generous donations at sqpn.com/give make it possible for us to continue The Secret to Stargate and all the shows at StarQuest. And you can join them by visiting sqpn.com/give. And be sure to follow the show on Apple Podcasts, TuneIn, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and you can find the video versions at youtube.com/StarQuestMedia. And to find previous episodes of Secret to Stargate and to send us feedback, please visit sqpn.com/Stargate. And you can email us at stargate@sqpn.com and follow StarQuest on social media at facebook.com/StarQuestMedia or on Twitter at SQPN. And I definitely want to hear what the general consensus is from other people on Pete, because if you couldn't tell, none of us are too keen on him. So I want to know what y'all have to say. So please email us at stargate@sqpn.com or check out our Discord at sqpn.com/Discord and let us know what you think about Pete.
There'll be that one guy that's like, oh yeah, Pete's the greatest. My dating is planned off of him.
Oh, no.
Well, I mean, based on the evidence in the show, it worked. So
yeah.
It did, right? Until it doesn't.
Valentine's Day is coming up. Maybe I'll see if my wife wants to go crash some 50th anniversary
Let
wedding.
us know how that goes.
Yeah.
Just go on Facebook for your, just wait and see
I was
if
going to say
anybody's
now,
like
50th
planning-
anniversary would have 1980s music.
Oh,
Stop it.
I know.
Would it be late 70s still?
70s.
yeah.
Okay.
Still.
Well, the next episode may be recorded from my car. We'll just see.
Yeah.
We'll be back next time with the next episode of SG-1 Death Knell. Until then, Father Cory, thank you for joining us and sharing the secret to Stargate.
Thank you, Jack.
And Lisa Jones, thank you too.
Thanks, Jack.
Victor Lambs, thank you as well.
Thanks, Jack, and it's been hum-worthy.
It has been, I agree. And once again, I'm Jack Baruzzini. Thank you for listening to The Secret to Stargate on StarQuest.
Anyway, I'm sorry, but that just happens to be how I feel about it. What do you think?